I bought a house in Cabo to shake off my cargo. It went a little bit far though. I then blew my top off. 9-6 by Arsenal. I didn't drive my car home when I drank that charcoal. Man, I miss my mom so. Ask me how it feels. I say it feels too real. When you pick up speed towards pitch black weed. Well, you got your thoughts all in there deep. What about your heart? Does it beat too hard? Mine does. Mine does. Mine does. Mine does.
Hey man, yeah, it's the summertime, right? Let's get it like or not. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. Yeah. Like it or not, it's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going down.
Rebecca Zora's in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, a real life ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. She's always coming up with the master plan. Politics, dreaming, trying to find the meaning of life. While the feds keeps us in stride.
I am your DJ exclusive. Y'all know who I am. I stay dropping them jams.
Good hope, dad jokes, culture, it's politics. What's here right now is the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I ended up with the plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. Tuesday to Thursday, you know how we do. Let's go. Down. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going down.
Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. It's going. Hey man, let's start this damn show.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, let me get right here. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Like It or Not, where
we're free to tell the truth.
Okay.
And not care who doesn't like it. I was
Not
wondering how that was
prepared.
going to go.
Yeah, I'm not prepared for the throuple all the time, so I was trying to make sure, we was together, but we had it kind of together, let's try it again. So, it's like one of our last ones of the year. So, welcome to Like It or Not. Well, we're free to tell welcome to Like It or Not,
where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it.
Yeah, you know what it is, Rebecca, is that for years it was just you and me saying it. Like back in 2017, back when my hairs weren't as gray. It was just the two of us. But it works. It works. Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. And then for the last few months, most of the year,
it's just been the two of y'all.
Yeah,
just the two of us.
I'm gonna get some credit for saying it because he's been holding it down.
And even before then. Yeah. Y'all gotta remember too, it was like we never got that damn thing.
It wasn't good.
It was a whole mess the whole time. We tried.
But here we are, and we're here together. I love to see it. I love to see Bubba, okay, fine, I see you. But I love to see Brother Ben with his blazer. Okay. When he comes with his blazer, just know that he's coming with some heat.
Listen, I'm worried about, I don't know if I'm pastor of Antifa or pastor the Cavassier, but I'm pastor of something.
I like that a lot. But we actually have a lot of great stories. I think stories that were trending towards the weekend, but also into this week. I actually wanted to touch on a few. So we have those stories to come, but what are you guys' holiday plans? I know, are you guys going to involve yourselves in capitalization, or are you gonna, what are your plans for, let's say, first Christmas?
DJ exclusive, you want to go first?
Ben, I'll let you go.
Listen, man, I'm not really much of a materialist. I don't really like to buy a whole lot of stuff, and I'm having to learn how to like do it because I have kids and
Right.
they're growing up with Disney Channel telling them everything, Disney Plus and all the ads on YouTube telling them everything they want for Christmas. So somewhere between me not really being the person who celebrates, I mean, I don't get me wrong, like I do the music, I do the food. We're gonna do that. We're gonna have, we're gonna take the whole day and like go outside and play football like you do at these days. But as far as gifts and whatnot, my wife is helping me to learn how to buy gifts for my kids because I'm not really a gift person.
She's usually the one that buys the gifts.
Everything.
Right?
Does it? Ben just puts them together. That typical.
I'll
you
cook.
give the money and then she goes to buy it and she wraps it up. She puts the thoughts into the gift. She does all of that. So even though you put the money in, she does the work. And I need people to understand that. Like that's the people be thinking, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like he giving me money, but no. You got to go do the work. You got to go figure out what everyone likes. You have to make sure you hide it enough so the kids don't even see it. You got to figure out where you're going to start, wrapping the presents when they're going to sleep or at night time or when they're going, when are you going to do that? Then you got to put it under the tree and say it's from mom and dad, even though mom.
You got to say it's from Santa.
Okay? And then we give all the credit to some imaginary white man. All right.
White man.
But you don't, for my kids, I really, as saved as I am, and as Haitian as I am, for my children, I really want to put the Santa Claus in there because I like the idea of them. I want to be able, I don't want that time to run out for me to utilize that as punishment for my kids. Mind your business, judgmental people. But I want to be able to say, Santa ain't gonna give you that gift if you keep acting like that in the store.
Oh, you want to have it? You need a threatening tool. Okay.
Santa, I know Jesus is the reason for the season. He brought Santa Claus here so that he can gift you, and now you sitting over here acting up. So I'm gonna tell Santa Claus what. Yes, I am.
Yeah. It's useful for that.
It really is because mom used to do it to us all the time, and that reminds me. Like I remember one year, mom probably don't know this, but she probably gonna know now. We would always, mom then would be up late night getting all the gifts, and she would hide stuff. Rebecca, exactly what you said, hide stuff everywhere in the attic and closets. And it was one night, me and my brother got up, and we just having like, hey, come on, let's go to the closet. Open up the closet, it's this big ass G.I. Joe fighter plane that we had been wanting, and then all these other toys. So we just having like, okay, we just gonna cover this back up. We just gonna act surprised. We opened it up on Christmas morning, and then like, look what Santa bought you. Like, Santa.
I love.
Thank you, Santa. Mom.
What about you, Becca?
Me, my mama, she wanted to give us like she ain't speak no English. So my daddy would give her money, and she goes, my mom does 6 jobs. And I think that's why I do 6 jobs during the holidays. I don't get much gifts. I don't know, it's weird. I don't get much gifts from my family members because they kind of just be like, oh, Rebecca's gonna gift us. I that's a thing. I just don't get gifts from my family members like that. When I was little though, my mom,
you sound like us,
yeah, my mom, I ain't got no kids or nothing, but that's who I gift, right? So my mom taught that to me. I watched her do 6 jobs. She wanted us to have the most like Haitian but like American type holiday too, because she's like, okay, my kids are American. Let's kind of like instill that into them. We call it Santa Claus Papa Noel. So, but for them, it's like we were only seeing a white Santa Claus. In my mind, my pastor was Santa Claus. He looked like him, but he was a black man. So I thought that was Santa Claus. And my mom would always get black little things, black little angels and all that and bring them to the house. Black baby Jesus that she got from the thrift shop.
That's right.
Did, right?
Yeah.
And so when it came, she would make sure that my mom would go in the room and she would wake up she'll go in the room. I'll help her. None of the kids helped. I would help her do all the gifts. And then when I went to sleep, she would do my gifts. And then in the morning time, that would be such the big thing. And my dad would pull out the camera and, videotape us. So we have older videos from that time that we actually looked at most recently. And what the hell was I wearing? My hair wasn't done right. It was crazy. I had crust in my eyes. Couldn't wait to see.
So we all got them kind of pictures.
Yeah, it was a fool. It was a fool. But
ash around your ankles.
Okay.
My hair, because the hairstyle for the kids back in the day, you do the bulgogos, what they call the I don't know what they call them.
Barrettes,
and then the 2 big ones that cross over like this.
The little bead, the little balls, little
Yes,
bead
they
thing.
cross
Yeah.
over there.
Yes.
Go is what we call it. But but it was the old style. Cause my mama did my hair for Christmas. But when you bad, I wasn't bad. But when you don't wrap your hair,
James,
when you don't.
bad.
But we had to put stockings on our hair as Haitian kids. When you don't put the stocking cap or the stockings on your hair. I woke up just all kinds of fuzzes on my edges, but I'm like, thanks, Mom. I got a toy. Best gift she ever got me was a Brandy doll that I still have till today.
Brandy?
Nice.
And I was older though. I was in middle school when she got that Brandy doll. So I didn't really, but I loved
Brandy
her so
the
much.
singer?
Brandy the singer.
She got an action figure?
Oh, yeah, she was one of the first Black Barbies. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. The Cinderella one.
Yep.
Okay, that's what's
up. It wasn't Cinderella, it was Brandy her.
It was just Brandy as a singer, Brandy.
Nice.
That's what's up. Brandy the action figure.
Rebecca is like the younger in the middle school time. So yeah,
she's in our zone. She's in our zone. Yeah. Well, especially because Brandy's a singer, and Rebecca's a singer.
And I loved her. And my sister was obsessed with her. Melinda was so jealous when Melinda was in high school. She's like, "Why did you get Rebecca the Brandy doll, girl?" Because I could like her too. But that's the holiday. This holiday season, I want to go ahead. I've already started. All of my nephews have sent me their y'all. They sent it to me in a note, except for one. They sent
what they wanted for Christmas.
Yes, in the what they call that little document.
See, that's why I don't give gifts. Too many people be
the notes.
My nieces sent it to us in a Google Doc, so they can send it to everybody.
Wow!
Regardless they had an iPhone or not, Google Doc.
They share it.
Wow.
Y'all really be out here participating in capitalism like that. That is amazing.
You are so right. But you right, Ben. I don't got no kids. You got them, right? You got.
And I don't even buy.
And they are. I know kids are expensive. So for this time of the year, I can be the rich and give something that they need. And what I love is these kids that I call my nephews, the younger ones are very jovial. They still have kid in them. Like, one of them is like 10 years old. So he's asking for like a lightsaber and a light up ball. I was shocked because, he's a 10-year-old. So I'm thinking that he would want something like on TikTok, but he still has that youth in him.
That's what's up.
I love that.
Kids are still kids. Hell, I still ask for Legos at my big grown age. Give me Legos, and I'll be happy as hell. Y'all see all my toys back here? Y'all already know.
Yeah, but that's
I feel that.
We're celebrating Christmas. If you ain't celebrating for the Christ in it, then you celebrate Xmas. If you ain't celebrating for nothing, just
enjoy yourself.
Just enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself.
Throw something on the grill. Throw something on the grill for the holiday.
Or throw it back. Throw it on the grill or throw it back. However you celebrate.
God damn it, Ben.
Ben, I love it. Throw it back or throw something on the grill or do both, baby. We definitely. I love that. I love it. So,
oh man.
All right, let's get to some stories with y'all nasty behind. Let's get to some stories.
It could be a whole throwback.
Right.
A lot of things would happen.
Liturgical dancing. Anyway,
you don't know. A lot of things can happen during Christmas. But one thing that I never thought would happen would be a Black president at Harvard.
Amen.
Harvard University. It's a lot of things. She's a Black woman and she's Haitian. Harvard University announced on Thursday that Claudine Gay will become its 30th president, making her the first Black person and second woman to lead the Ivy League school. Gay, who is currently a dean at the university and a democracy scholar, will become president on the 1st of July. She replaces Lawrence Bacow, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, who is stepping down to spend more time with family.
Scandal.
Claudine, a child of Haitian immigrants.
Okay,
so
young
regarded as the leading voice on the issue of American political participation in 2006. She joined Harvard as a professor of government and African American studies.
Oh, that's my kind of teacher.
Has since, that's you, Ben, and has since explored a variety of issues, including how a range of social and economic factors shape political views and voting. At Harvard University. Oh, Lord. Gay is also the founding chair of Harvard's Inequality in America Initiative. Oh, she's out there. She's ruffling feathers over there, which studies issues like the effects of child poverty and deprivation on educational opportunity and American inequality from a global perspective. Let's take a look at a few words that she shared about taking this role.
Nice.
Moment of rapid and accelerating change, socially, politically, in the economy, technologically. So many aspects of life are being reset. With the strength of this extraordinary institution behind us, we enter a moment of possibility, one that calls for deeper collaboration among faculty and students from across the university. It calls for pioneers into new areas of research, fresh thinking, not only about the problems that we face, but the solutions to our greatest challenges. I'm Claudine Gay, and I'm the next president of Harvard University.
Yes. I love to see it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it is what's up. I don't really care about Ivy League schools or not HBCUs. However, when I do see them opening doors and making room for Black excellence at the schools, I don't think Black excellence should be limited to just HBCUs. They're birthed from HBCUs. However, I love to see when we can actually go into places that never once allowed us, not demanding our space, but them wanting us because we're that great. And so Claudine was already a product of that school, and she studied, African American studies, politics. So her background was already in that. She is a part of a lot of groups there that are not the usual or things that we think of on those types of campuses. So that's like initiatives that are pushing for more African Americans and marginalized groups to be at the forefront of whatever. That's where you have seen Claudine. And then she was a professor as well at the university. Somebody who comes from a Haitian background at that, she's a first of a lot, being Haitian. I ain't gonna say, they try to disrespect us, but look, I love to see this. Her being the head, she's Haitian, she's a woman, and she's Black. Yeah. And now being the next president of this Harvard University. Ben, what are your thoughts?
I think it's great. Listen, I have this split thing going on in my brain where, simultaneously, like you said, you want to recognize the achievement of Black people, of Black women. This sister of Haitian descent, she's a child of Haitian immigrants, or is she immigrant herself?
She's a product of Haitian immigrants. Yes.
So shout out to her just on the merits alone to be able to ascend to the highest educational mountain amongst white people. And that's an achievement. And I'm not saying that to downplay it at all. Like, it's Harvard University, but on the flip side, also, I feel like the same way as you, Rebecca, like for me, I put HBCUs first for Black people. And it's not that these schools are all so much better than the other, in terms of how they operate. Some of the HBCUs are small and everything. Oh, that's great. I love Blackness. And so it's kind of funny because I love to see Blackness thrive, and I'm love to see her up there where she is. So, shout out to all the HBCUs, and shout out to this sister, and
shout out to the Black people making a difference. Not because they're being used, because she might, but she really low key might be.
We're gonna see
diversity and inclusion. But
we're gonna see. It's what we try to get.
Shout out to the actual Black people who are qualified, not the Herschel Walkers. And I'm not knocking Herschel Walker, but
yes, I am.
I'm not knocking him in the arena of sports. He was qualified. He was qualified for sports. He is not qualified for anything in politics. What I do is I root for everybody who is Black, who knows where they belong. Y'all, what the hell are y'all talking about as I'm talking up here? See, that's what I don't like. This is what I don't like. We're being on here with two children.
I say nothing.
Herschel Walker. No. You said you didn't want to get on. You said you didn't want to get on Herschel Walker. I'm like, no, yes, we do.
Yes,
because you know what? Like, that's the right juxtaposition. We see what kind of Black people, them folks down there, them other folks, them parliamentarians, like parliamentarians, like, and it's Herschel Walker. Shout out to this brilliant, beautiful Black woman.
Amen. Yeah.
There we go. Shout out to this beautiful, brilliant Black woman that is qualified, experienced, and deserves this seat. The other person that was there, good luck to you. Go have a great time with your family. Yeah. That school is about to flip on its head.
I don't know if y'all ever.
Right now. When did we get fried chicken Wednesday?
Okay. That's what I was saying. Rebecca.
Wait, what is it? Soup Jamon?
Not us celebrating Soup Jamu on January 1st. Now, why is
Haitian
that?
independent, like
Because
the New Year's about to be lit.
I'm Haitian.
Brown
It's a
stew
Haitian
chicken?
Independence Day,
Oh, my God.
January 1st. Colonizers don't eat this soup, okay? You can't get none of this.
I can't stand you.
It's gonna be black as hell.
Hey, did you see where Rebecca slid in there? Like, I don't want to, I'm sorry. I know you slid in. You said it on air, so I'm gonna say Rebecca said we got to wait and see if she's gonna be the diversity and inclusion
The
pick.
DNI. She gonna be
we
the
gotta
DNI.
be honest. We gotta be honest about that, because I love to know that she is qualified on everything. She does deserve the position.
Right.
I like that they reached out to her. But we also can tell when somebody is a diversity and inclusion. But she seems way too strong to just settle for being that pick.
Y'all remember
She
that
gives
app?
me
Go
she
ahead,
don't take
James.
no stuff. Yeah, she gives me she don't take no stuff at all. And I love to see it.
Do you remember our African American African history and studies professor at Bethune back when we were there? I can't remember her name.
I know exactly
But
what you're talking
that
about.
sister changed my life. So
Yes.
if she is in the same order as that sister, Harvard better tighten up.
Tighten
Yeah.
up. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, bro. So just thinking about her, she like really changed my perspective a lot on African American history. Like stuff that we didn't learn in high school that we got to college and got to the forefront of a lot of stuff and just opened our mind to thinking. So I appreciate her.
One thing we always gonna do is give people their props and then circle it right back. But my HBCU, what my HBCU did,
girl.
See about my HBCU. See, not really at my HBCU. It's real nice what they doing over there in Colorado, but Jackson State will always. It's real nice what they doing over there at Harvard, but Howard will always.
It's just one letter off. Two letters.
Right,
two letters off. I mean,
I love to see how a lot of the musical schools but Bethune actually has a history of, and if Mary McLeod, she comes from, and up there at the highest of Seven Hills, a lot of Black excellence comes from there, because it's in Tallahassee. I know there's another school over there, but FAMU, is that what you refer? We always do that. We just
because it's real. And we kind of petty, but it's real though. It's real. It's just a little, in this season of PWIs versus HBCUs. Hell Wildcats.
Hell Wildcats.
Y'all Rattlers keep striking.
Yeah, we'll strike. We'll give y'all a strike.
We'll strike for some Rattlers. We'll give y'all some love.
I don't know what y'all.
It's just Hell Wildcat.
Y'all don't have a sign, Ben? You guys don't have anything?
Hell Wildcats.
There's no like. Okay, I'll do it for y'all. Okay, so shout out to the brother sister school, the cousin school, the Forever Fairbley schools out there, BCC, BCU, and Florida A&M, FAMU. We will always have love. But shout out to all the Black schools, Harvard University, Claudine. Claudine.
Rebecca,
Claudine. Shout out to you, girl.
Oh man.
But next up on our list of stories, because time is ticking away. Ben, I think this will be a great story for us to discuss, because January 6th. It's a couple of people I want to know where they were on January 6th, but
that's right.
The committee wants to know where Trump was on January 6th. They want to know where him and his associated crew, where they were on January 6th. The House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol accused former President Donald J. Trump on Monday of inciting insurrection, conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstruction of an act of Congress, and another federal crime, as it referred him to the Justice Department for potential prosecution. The action, the first time in American history that Congress has referred a former president for a criminal prosecution, is the coda to the committee's 18-month investigation into Mr. Trump's effort to overturn the 2020 election that culminated in a violent mob of the former president's supporters laying siege to the Capitol. Beginning election night and continuing through January 6th and thereafter, Donald Trump purposely disseminated false allegations of fraud related to the 2020 presidential election in order to aid his effort to overturn the election and for purposes of soliciting contributions. These false claims provoked his supporters to violence. On January 6th, we all saw it. Knowing that he and his supporters had lost dozens of election lawsuits, and despite his own senior advisors refuting his election fraud claims and urging him to concede his election loss, Donald Trump refused to accept the lawful result of the 2020 election rather than honor his constitutional obligation to take care that the laws be faithfully executed.
That's right.
President Trump instead plotted to overturn the election outcome. And these are only 2 of the 17 points the January 6th committee has concluded. Let's take a look at what the leader of the committee had to say.
The committee looked at it long and hard. And from our vantage point, we couldn't do anything except make the referral. It was clear in our review, it was clear in evaluation of the evidence uncovered by our committee that those actions taken by former President Trump clearly created a problem for this country. And we were all concerned about it, but we were concerned about it to the point, Jake, that we moved it to the Justice Department. We will move all the evidence that we have uncovered, and it will ultimately be up to them. But it's clear the aiding and abetting and encouraging that went on. Everyone, for the most part, saw it play out before their very eyes. So we saw it.
And that's Chairman Benny Thompson. He is the chairman of the January 6th committee. But Ben, do you think that this will actually go anywhere? Because does Trump deserve the criminal charges against him for what happened, the domestic terrorist attack on January 6th at the Capitol?
Great question. I'm glad you asked. No, but first, I do. Since speaking of HBCUs, I got to shout out Alcorn State University, which is in the district of Benny Thompson. They're the 2nd congressional district in Mississippi.
Right. Alcorn.
Alcorn.
Thank you.
This girl said Acorn. I'm begging Rebecca.
So anyway, okay. Should he go to jail? Should and yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, he should go to jail. But is he going to go to jail? Merrick Garland hasn't shown, the Attorney General has not shown the willingness to actually go the distance himself, even though he has appointed the special prosecutor by the name, I believe, Jack Smith. Now, Jack Smith is the kind of guy who goes after former presidents. You know, he's known throughout the internet. He has international accolades. He's known as a sharpshooter. And if anybody's going to come for Donald Trump's head, based on the evidence, it'll be Jack Smith. That said, I've never seen this country hold a president accountable for nothing.
Right.
Period.
Okay. Because he did that. We seen it. We seen it play out just like everybody else did. But it's one of those things that I just feel like they want us to buy time, and they will find a way to mold former President Donald Trump as some kind of he was a bystander. He didn't really know this was going to happen. He did not plan for it, although we know there was a lot of whistleblowing. We know there were a lot of rallies held in his name. Till this day, right now, if you just go down to Palm Beach and right over that bridge by my house, people are still daily going over there, daily as if they're being paid, with the Donald Trump banners that they've created with their F-150 truck saying that he won the election. Till this day, we're in 2022. We're about to be in 2023 in just a few days here, and they have been doing this since. Bubba, what are your thoughts on this?
You know, as happy as I am that the charges, they want to bring charges against him, just feel like it's not going to happen. Like, if they prove me wrong, I'll be happy, but it's just like he's not going to get nothing but a slap on the wrist. But I just really want this man in jail.
Yeah.
Just really. But knowing the American people, this is going to increase his chances of becoming president in 2024. And they're going to let him do it.
You know what? They let Herschel Walker come right here with Raphael Warnock.
Within a hair's distance.
Literally.
Like neck and neck again.
A few votes.
They did that. And
The only thing I would add, Rebecca, before you go, is the only difference would be that I think the Republican Party is trying to move to Ron DeSantis right now, and we all got Florida roots, so we all know what's going on with Ron DeSantis. And I think Republicans are trying to offload Donald Trump, but you bought it, you broke it, you pay for it.
Yeah,
this is y'all responsibility. Donald Trump is y'all's. But I think people also have to be really careful not to think that it's all over just because they get rid of Donald Trump, even if they're able to get rid of him in the first place. So I'm sorry, Rebecca, go ahead.
No, that's a perfect point. I think they are going more towards, that's why we don't see, they are helping Donald Trump in the background, but they aren't very vocal about it as they used to be right now, because I think they have their eyes on the prize on molding and building and shaping Ron DeSantis to be something presidential. What's interesting is what we see with both parties, actually, with both the Democrats and the Republicans. No matter how conservative you may be, or no matter how free thinking or liberal you may think you are, the littlest things for people will have both parties turn, oh my God, how presidential. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You gotta start lifting that man up, because that is so he took out the trash.
He took out the trash.
He picked up that piece.
He changed the diaper.
He changed the diaper. He actually went over to the school where a school shooting happened and actually gave his thoughts and prayers. My God, that's so presidential. My God, you know what he did?
Van Jones.
He actually, you know what he did? He actually said that COVID is a pandemic. That COVID outbreak. There, he actually said,
wow.
He said that. My God,
the bar is so low for these devils.
Low as an ant's booty.
My goodness.
doing the limbo.
Both parties are doing this, you guys. Both parties are doing this. So I say this to say, whatever is left for Donald Trump, what are those people who are like very, very extreme. They're radicals.
That's
and
right.
They don't want to, how they're trying to label them as January 6th insurrectionists, and a lot of people still don't know what that means, so it sounds a little bit soft. It's almost like falling from the top, but when you land on a pillow. You land on Mattress Giant. You land on one of them comfort springs and bounce you right back up, right? You only get a slap on the wrist. But if we say domestic terrorists, oh no,
yeah.
That's 9/11 talk. But no, those, that's pretty much what y'all did on your own land. So it makes it domestic terrorism. People died, people were hurt. There was a lot that was happening that day. Bomb threats. It was a lot. You guys came armed and ready.
People died.
Yeah, people died. Look, we got to repeat that a second time, babe. Third time. People died.
People died. I bet you. I was going to ask. I'm trying not to be evil here, but I bet you Ashley Babbitt wishes she had stayed home that morning. Oh my God. I'm just. People are making bad decisions over this,
He's dropping facts, though. He's stating. I hate to say, you should have stayed your ass home.
Babbitt, and I told your behind the first time.
Melodies from heaven. He's singing in the heavenly host right now. Or is she?
The season, yeah.
Or is she?
Around and found out this. Ooh, that's so wrong, Bubba. Stop.
Oh. See, here's where you F around. This is Ashley Babbitt. Those who don't know, is one of the people who actually were killed during the riot. During the riot,
she didn't want to listen.
During
the
gang
ahead,
activity.
Get me out of here. Get
during
me out of
the
this
terrorist attack at the Capitol.
Y'all better listen to black men
trying to break into the goddamn Capitol.
Yeah, listen, and a lot of people were saying she died for country she lived, and for country she died.
She died for a baseball card salesman. NFT selling Donald Trump. Anyway, I digress.
Well, I say that to say Donald Trump deserves every criminal charge that is put up against him. I'm glad that they are able, that they're even though it may not touch anything, unfortunately, and I don't want to be a pessimist about it, but we've seen historically, since he's been president, the man before we used to say Donald Trump is not untouchable. Well, the history shows Donald Trump seems to be actually untouchable when it comes to that. People around him will fall, but for some reason, Donald Trump is untouchable. And he'll send people out to do his dirty work, but he deserves to actually, I really would love to see criminal charges against him upheld. But we'll just see how that goes. I'm glad. Thank you to
pray on it.
Benny. Thank you to the president, the chairman of the committee, Benny Thompson. Thank you so much. Thank you for being
second congressional district of Mississippi with them Alcorn. Listen, y'all talking Christmas. My very first memory of an HBCU was of Alcorn State University marching band coming marching down the streets of Brookhaven, Mississippi. Them drum majors were high stepping so high, and they were so tall. I was like what 5'2" then, and it just inspired me to. That's what got me into black marching bands.
5'2".
That's right. I was like 6 years old. I was like 7 years old, so
okay. I was like,
I probably wasn't 5'2". I was probably like 4'1", but whatever it was, them boys were tall, high stepping, and that's who y'all got. That's Benny Thompson. He did a really good job leading that committee. I just want to give him a shout out for
shout out to Benny. Yeah, the shout out for sure. I love that. And I mean, somebody got to do it. Next story, next case. Now, speaking of HBCUs, right? This story has been trending for a while, and I know that you guys have been in my DMs. Rebecca, why aren't you covering this? Rebecca, where are we with this? It's because every time we get on, we lose track of time, so I want to make sure we get this in. You guys, I see it. I've seen it with you guys. If you guys haven't heard already, Winston-Salem has been in the news for a few things, but this is one of the most prominent. Winston-Salem University HBCU community is in an uproar after a video surfaced of a student being arrested after an altercation with the professor. From the video context provided, it seems that the professor and the student got into a nonviolent argument over the student being told to leave the classroom. According to the video professor seems to have instigated the argument by raising her voice at the student, and the student raised her voice in return. A staff member who was not involved called law enforcement after the student refused to apologize, even though the argument was started allegedly by the professor. It is important to point out that this happened between a white professor and a black student. Okay, which has caused many to ponder why a white professor is working at an HBCU at all. We'll talk about that. That's strange because I had maybe like one. The student was forcefully handcuffed in the classroom. I seen it and removed from the premises. The university said it is still reviewing the incident for further possible action, including the professor's actions and if they align with campus policy. WSSU has released a statement. But before we get there, I want you guys to see the video for yourselves. Let's take a look.
Is she still standing there letting this happen? Exactly. I hate you. It already escalated. She must have come out and hit him. I swear to God, I hate you. I swear to God, I hate you. I swear to God, I hate you, bro. You're the worst teacher ever. You get me taken out of here because I want to apologize. Because I want to apologize. You started yelling at me. You trying to embarrass me about my paper. You're a terrible teacher. Is somebody recording this? Oh, everybody is. You're recording everybody because that's ridiculous. Yes, that really is. For letting this shit happen. She sit here and say she loves black people and stuff, but you let this happen to her. Come on now. No, you yelled at her first. You yelled at her first, but you want her to apologize. It doesn't make any sense. You hear everybody in the class say, I have look at my grades, my GPA. I graduated by 8 points. I'm not no dumb bitch. I'm not stupid, Dr. B. The whole class. I'm so mad. I am valedictorian, bitch.
I am valedictorian.
Yeah, you weren't yelling at her. You were yelling at her. That's ridiculous. That's BS. I'm saying. BS. I'm like. Trying to say I'm sorry. That's
in handcuffs.
In handcuffs.
Wow.
Okay. There are a couple of things. Now, we're going to go in on them. I think that we may really have a great conversation to flesh out here. Before we do that, I wanted to add, while this was going viral, at the time, the HBCU stated that they are investigating And the student then put out a video herself the next day saying that it wasn't being investigated. No one reached out to her. Nothing happened. And then I think a few days after that, the basketball player Chris Paul had actually received, he graduated from the school, and that now became news. And he gave his peers, I think it was $2,000 that he graduated with, or something of the sort. So that then became news, and she was saying, "I'm still waiting on an answer or an investigation to happen as it relates to my situation with this teacher." She said that she has now gotten her lawyers involved. But since the most recent, the school released a statement and said, "We understand that the weaponization of police is a prevalent problem within our community. However, that is not what happened in this incident." University's Chancellor L. Wood Robinson wrote in an open letter, "We know this situation has caused a great deal of trauma to those involved and our campus community at large, but please know that every available resource is being extended to bring resolution." Okay. So that's a little bit of what they said. She's and there's more that they wrote, but I'll stop it there because I'll just say I think the video has a lot of problems in it. If you watch it, like there's a lot of things in it. I don't like when kids and teachers are going back and forth, but I also don't like how the teacher or the professor, because she's in college, went and resorted to police presence in the classroom and the forceful removal in handcuffs of a valedictorian child, Black child, out of that classroom. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And that's what was problematic for me. Go ahead, Bubba.
I was about to say, and y'all see, and I just saw that for the first time watching this. When you read the statement, it said that another professor was the one that called the officers. And I just saw the other professor that was in there was also a white woman.
Is it?
If Josh can rewind it, the other lady
that
was in there in
I
front of
missed
the
that.
class was also a white woman. White as hell. Straight up Karen. Y'all seeing it?
Parliamentarian.
Parliamentarian. Thank you.
Regardless of the fact, we have to know better. I think the issue people are bringing up online is that the teacher, why do HBCUs, like I said, there's a lot to cover here. I don't like when I see kids going back and forth with the professors. I don't like it at all. I hate to see it. I don't like it. But this is simply, to me, unacceptable. I see him. Unacceptable. This teacher is showing that she felt threatened because the student was talking back, threatened by the black girl raising her voice or challenging the teacher, I may say. And then the other teacher thought, hey, go ahead and get you some police presence up in here because she's popping off at the mouth. And they thought that would be a way to reprimand this child. And that's very, very problematic. Now, for the topic that was trending in social media, where why is a white professor working at an HBCU anyway? Honestly, that's not something that is uncommon. We won't see a lot of white professors, but we will see others working on campus as a professor for whatever class it is. It could be math, it could be whatever. It's going to be majority Black teachers that you see most likely on an HBCU campus, or Black professors that you see on the campus. But it's not uncommon or unheard of to have a white professor working at an HBCU.
I mean, I know at Cookman we had, maybe it was like one or two that I can recall, but the most majority of the others were Black teachers. We had a few foreign teachers that worked at Cookman. I'm sure that was the same at FAMU. It's one of those things where that diversity and inclusion comes in effect at HBCU.
That's our diversity and inclusion numbers.
That D&I come in as well too. You got to have at least one.
So I feel you, Rebecca, like on the arguing back and forth with kids and professors and stuff. But this, I know how this, I taught long enough to realize how this situation rolled out.
Yeah.
The teacher said something slick out of her mouth and the kid said it right back.
Yeah.
And the thing is like when you have professors or teachers, I don't care what grade they are in, when they don't know how to talk to students with the kind of respect that they expect back, That's the thing. Is like, you have these authority figures, and then here's the other thing. Isn't that a black man who arresting her on top of it? So we already know how to deal with the fact that
she did talk about that. She stated that the black officer actually was there first, right? And he was trying to walk her through everything. He did not. He talked to her calmly, talked to her respectfully. This is an officer that she knew. She said it's when the other presence came in, and now the white officer came in and was trying to tell her to shut up and told her, we're going to remove you. This is what your charges are. She said that the black officer was just saying, we're not charging you. We're just removing you from the classroom. Just letting her know what's going on, calming her down, because he's well respected in that on that campus. This other presence came in, and she stated that he was like, no, we're going to charge you. We're going to do this. And that's when it started to get.
And this will be the last thing I'll say about this. Have y'all seen the videos of them arresting little 8-year-old girls?
My goodness.
These schools are prisons. And as much as I support, listen, I'm a former teacher. I'm a former member of a teacher union, right? So solidarity with teachers. But I'm going to tell you, I've seen these school resource officers hit students. Had to file reports myself with internal affairs. They ain't going nowhere because cops ain't going to do nothing to cops. But these schools are prisons, and they will do it to a college student just like that. I've seen them do it to children, 8-year-olds, girls, black girls.
Yeah. No, I've heard of cases where officers, we saw them flip remember we covered that story of them
my God.
literally doing
flipping the black girl
DDT on a black when her draws were out. That was unacceptable, and I didn't want to keep sharing the video because of the child being exposed that way, but a whole officer thought that would be okay to do to a child
in middle school.
A little girl in middle school. And I've even seen them a neighbor called the police on like a little 6-year-old girl. They put her in handcuffs because she was like, I think it was like planting something, and the lady got upset, called the police. We covered it here on this show as well.
About the bugs.
And then before that, a little girl, I don't know what she was doing, I can't remember, but she had to be like 6 or 7. They walked her into a courtroom with cuffs on her wrist, and they couldn't even fit her wrist, to ask her what she did to. You see what I'm saying?
Let me go one step further. Now, this is what's happening to black kids, right? Everything we said is happening to black kids every day in this country. The children that they snatch from migrants and immigrants, they put them in court by themselves, not with their parents. They put them in court to answer questions for judges. So this is a barbaric system. And it's also, at the end of the day, the question is, would you ever see this at Harvard?
Okay.
Hello.
Ben, you in the house today, brother? You put that
it's the blazer. The blazer made me feel like
you said it.
Ben, you put that blazer on and said, "I'm coming with the fire." That's it. No, Ben, that's a great question. Would you ever see this at Harvard?
Nope.
Would police presence need to be called to remove a student from the classroom who was going back and forth with the professor? Wow. I don't like to see that. I don't like to see that from the professor, and I don't like to see that from the students. I just think it's lacks decorum. There's no order in the classroom, especially if it keeps going. However, the student might have just walked out, or the teacher would have said, "You need to get out of here right now." If you aren't going to respect the classroom right now, and the other students who are here to learn.
But if Jimmy's daddy donated $1 million to Harvard, he get in that class and want to disrespect somebody, that professor gonna shut their mouth.
Yep.
Period. You're a dumbass teacher. What are you talking about? My dad bought this damn classroom.
My maid makes more money than you.
Oh, Jimmy, you can't talk like that to me, Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy, behave, Jimmy. Now, as a black teacher, should probably be different. I don't give a goddamn who your goddamn daddy is.
We know because we've been in those classrooms where we've been.
Exactly.
I've sat in the classroom with celebrity or rich kids at FAMU. We all sat together in the classroom, and the teacher will treat each and every one of us the same. That's why I'm like, like
way.
at an HBCU, going back and forth would never happen with a black professor. They're sending you out the classroom, or they're gonna pack their things and go on home and say they don't got time for this. They don't get paid enough for this, and they're going home.
Real. That's so real because
They're
I know
not calling police presence to the classroom for somebody who was just verbally arguing with you. Just know that baby won't be in the classroom on the next time we come back here.
Facts.
Yeah, we ain't gonna take that because at Cookman, I love this conversation today. At Cookman, I know a few times my professor's like, "Oh, y'all not gonna shut up? Cool, that's fine, y'all got it," and packed their stuff and left. And we just sitting there like, what we supposed to do now?
Now,
Like,
on the day of test day, nobody's prepared. Why? Because we were in that classroom acting up. And what do they tell you at the HBCU? You gonna come here and learn responsibilities. You gonna come here and learn how to respect. We're not arguing with grown kids. You guys came to the school because you guys are growing up. You're not here with your mom. You're not here with your dad. We don't argue with children here.
See,
but now you get Asian Karen and Sue.
Here we go.
Yes.
So I guess that does make sense, Ben, where the question comes into place. Why do we have these people teaching at HBCUs if they do not know what we call protocol? You do not call police presence into a classroom full of black children.
I'm wondering why she's teaching why she's a professor in the first place if she doesn't understand classroom management. I mean, you have to know that for elementary school. What about on the professor level?
Yeah.
And even if she wasn't the one that called the police, why didn't she say something to her colleague? Say, "Hey, Susan, Karen, don't call them. We don't need that right now."
Yeah.
And then, if anything, why the hell mind your goddamn business, bitch? This ain't in your classroom. Go away. Go back to your class.
Not her coming into the classroom as if this was an elementary school, like and the kindergartners are
oh my god.
The kindergartners are being bad next door. So, the senior teacher, the teacher that knows how to keep her kids in order comes in there and like, what's going on? And she's like, well, this student, and in the beginning of the video, a little bit of this one is cut off, but in the beginning of the video, she said, no, I'm not going to do that, Miss Such and Such. And no, you're not going to tell me that I didn't do that right. I put my heart and soul into this paper. You're not going to say that I know that I did it correctly. And the teacher's saying, no, you did not. The professor is saying, no, you did not. They're going back and forth. She's like, no, I'm not going to take that from you. You're basically trying to talk down on me, and you can't, because I'm like, I'm a smart girl. She kept trying to reaffirm herself to the Karen teacher.
It looks like it was one of those things where the teacher brought up some stuff in front of the class that you could have waited after class to say, hey, Miss Such and Such, I need to speak with you after class so we can go over this paper. But you brought it up in front of that class. So off the top, you were out of line for doing that. That's inappropriate as hell.
Very much so.
You're supposed to be a professional. You know how to do this. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
But the cruelty is the point, because the question that Ben brought up I think is a great way to end this particular story. But would they do this at Harvard?
There it is.
All right. Next story, next case, because we got to get through these. But that was a good one. And now I understand why they do ask the question: why is there white presence as a professor at HBCUs? It can be very problematic. Let me go to this. Let me go to this story that is also very problematic, but confusing to me in so many different ways. I know that you guys probably heard it. It is actually in the news. It's everywhere, but it's not where it should be. I feel like mainstream enough. We're seeing it more on social media. I'm talking about Meg the Stallion. And what's his name? Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
The only guy shorter than me. What's Tory Lanez, like 5'1"?
His hands look like this. This is literally his hands with the fingers on them. This is anywho.
This whole case is shit. It's a shit.
Okay. So no, seriously, I don't understand a thing. And there are a few things I'll add to this after we read. But the trial of rapper Tory Lanez over the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion has started in a Los Angeles court. Now, we've been going through this for days now. I think it's been like a week, the accusation, and the long-awaited hearings have sparked a war of words and divided, I guess you can say, the hip-hop world. Megan, whose real name is Megan Pete, and Tory Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson. You know what?
That boy's name is the Lucifer Daystar?
And Peterson? That gives me a little like, what is he? He might have some Caribbean in him. Peterson. Anywho, they are said to have gotten to an argument as they drove away from a party in July 22. If you guys can all, July 2020. If you guys recall, that's like 2 years ago. At a hearing last December, Los Angeles police told a judge Megan demanded to be let out of the car and heard Tory shouting at her to dance. He then opened fire with the handgun. Megan's own account in court tells the same story. She testified that the argument was triggered by her belittling Tory's musical talents. She had initially told police. Police.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
I didn't know that part. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't know that part.
Me neither. I never knew that part either. She had initially told police that she'd been hurt by stepping on broken glass. So I think she was trying to save him. It was later on Instagram where she first said that Tory had shot her. Megan later spoke out about her injuries, saying she needed surgery to remove bullets from her feet, which had missed her bones and tendons. Megan spoke out after memes and abuse spread online, saying, in some kind of way, I became the villain. She was accused of lying about being shot and has had to repeatedly defend herself, suggesting misogyny against Black women, and could be why she's been targeted. I'll say this, and we can yield the floor. Meg Thee Stallion was a woman who was shot in the foot by Tory Lanez, right at the time, allegedly. Yeah. Now we're learning through the latest trial, court dates, and all this other stuff that it might have really damn happened that he shot her. It's a great chance that Tory Lanez definitely shot her in the foot, but we were just screaming "Believe women" not too long ago. And then why she was at the top of her game, Grammy Award winning, doing all of this. She said that she was shot by this man. And we understand that in the beginning, when we love somebody or we want to protect this person, we'll lie for them. It's kind of like when you love the person, that sounded like a thing you'll do. So she probably wanted to protect him in that instance. We've seen Rihanna do it with Chris Brown. We've seen I don't know if J-Lo really did that with P. Diddy, because she got the hell up on out of there with that gun charge. But we've seen people do it when it comes to somebody who is abusive to you or whatever, and you love them. In the beginning, people are known to either go back, try to make excuses for that person until they're like, no, I'm in an abusive situation. Meg Thee Stallion was shot in the foot. Why did we ever allow Tory Lanez to continue to be something trending, making music, doing whatever? Meg Thee Stallion was shot in the foot by Tory Lanez because she said something about his music. She hurt his ego. I don't care what the background was. The facts are Meg Thee Stallion was shot in the foot, and everybody started removing any kind of. They said that Meg no longer deserved to be looked at as the rapper that she is. They found so many negative things. A lot of her world has crashed down. People don't even want her to be as big as she was right before that. People don't want to recognize her for being that.
Over this guy.
Over Tory Lanez. Yet Tory Lanez get to go online and do so much stuff and clout chase and still make music and be featured on stuff. And you know, at the end of the day, I don't care what went down. The matter is that Meg Thee Stallion got shot in the foot by Tory Lanez.
It's all this. It's such a convoluted, messy ass trial, and this lawyer dude, or the person that's coming on Instagram Live and telling all the commentary of everything that's going in the courtroom, and he's really annoying the hell out of me. But to me, I don't know. It's a lot. And honestly, I do believe Megan. I think it is one of those things, though, that not as like, is Kelsey the one? And Kelsey is supposed to be her best friend. Was supposedly saying that she may have been the one that shot her. I'm just like, oh, this is just a mess.
That's why I did not want to cover it, because I don't know. It's literally
too messy. Yeah,
I wanted to wait until we got like a defined.
Yes, like, Rebecca, and that's how I felt about this too, because it's just all over the place.
It is all over the place. Right, it's being covered so much in social media space. That's why it's looking so messy. Yeah. Literally, lawyers and courtroom reporters are taking to their messy ass pages and saying, "You wouldn't believe what just happened, guys. You wouldn't believe what just happened." Tory Lanez walks in. One of the jurors scream out, "I love you, Tory Lanez. I love you, Tory Lanez." Like, this is what's actually making way as a story. And the severity of it, the truth of it, the seriousness of it is that Meg the Stallion was shot in the foot by Tory Lanez.
Yeah. And then now the bodyguard that was there
missing.
that was supposed to be a witness is now missing.
Oh, then the body.
Justin
You guys,
Edison.
that's an addition to the story. You're right. Meg the Stallion's bodyguard, who was a witness to what happened, is now missed the court date, and he is now considered a missing person, and the FBI is investigating that right now.
You know, I've been following this.
Meg. We know
I
love
love Meg the
Me too,
Stallion.
child.
You know,
We know
I
that.
think Megan got, but listen, I love her because she got bars. I don't care what nobody say. Megan
Yeah.
can spit. Megan got bars, and I can understand how bruised Tory Lanez ego was when she came down on him. But you know, bruh, you be grateful you're with the Stallion, right? Don't try to be with her and then try to act like your bars are better than hers, because in my opinion,
it ain't it.
they ain't. Just get in your lane, Tory Lanez, and stay there. You had an opportunity to be with Megan Thee Stallion, but you got lost. You lost yourself, and then you shot her in the pinky toe. Like, bro, come on, man. Like,
And now they're saying that he was trying to be with not only Meg but Kelsey and goddamn Kylie.
And you know what you're saying right now, Bubba? It sounds like gossip, but no, this is actually part of court documents.
Yes.
This is actually what was said in, you guys, and Meg the Stallion is not on trial. Tory Lanez is.
that's right.
Right.
That's
Yep.
right.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rebecca. Jesus Christ.
Allegedly.
Thank you.
Not allegedly on trial. Allegedly shot her. Let me say that, because
allegedly shooting her.
shot for allegedly shooting her.
But with more of what's coming out, it's like, okay, he shot her, but why? This is what they're searching for. What's the why here? No, you guys, he shot her in the foot.
But that's what a good defense attorney does. You know what I mean? Like they gonna muddy the waters, and if they don't do it directly themselves, you got all these people who are trying to get clicks out of reporting every little salacious detail and making something more out of it.
Absolutely.
But the question is, like, who shot her?
And
anyway,
I just need this to come out in mainstream media, because all these gossip people, like I said, the lawyer guy with the gray hair,
he's doing the most.
Shade room, and everybody posting his ass.
They so
bro,
messy.
don't give him no goddamn clicks and likes, man, because who knows if half the shit that he even saying is true.
Because for the last 2 years since the shooting of the foot, Ponderosa, and I hate to say that, but since this has been going on, and people have made her the butt of every joke.
That's right.
Drea did a podcast and lost her Savage Fenty deal because she made a comment saying, I wish a man would shoot me in the foot. She likes that toxic type of love. And because of what we know, and I mentioned this, what Rihanna's gone through, Rihanna stripped Drea. She said, no, ma'am. You do not get a deal with Savage Fenty. It's out of here. A lot of people have put Meg the Stallion as some kind of sexual being in this. What they've done on this trial, I can say that I recognize, is over-sexualize Meg the Stallion.
Oh, yes.
Even the people in the courtroom. They have oversex. They said, "Who did you have sex with? Did you have sex with this person? What did you do with this person? Were you sexually active with him? You know who's in the room. You know who's watching her. You know who's by her side. You know who's listening to this party. Who is her partner right now? Who has to see her relive this after she found love after that whole incident? Now she has to talk about
her sex life with him.
Her sex life.
With that tiny little man.
They're not asking Tory Lanez.
With that tiny little man.
What did you do? They're not asking him they're not asking him.
But even if they did, he'd have the advantage that misogyny gives men all the time. Like he's celebrated. It takes two to tango, sometimes three. But in this case, they really are putting all the pressure on Megan. And they the way they get away with it is because in her lyrics, she chooses to talk sexually. But my God, have you listened to Tory Lanez music? Have you listened to any of these rappers' music? And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I used to like Drake. His album, not this last one, but the one before.
I know what you mean.
I used to rock with Drake, but he got his little half white Canadian behind want to jump in there and say, joke about her getting shot. Like, where they do that at, man?
Because
And then
he's
50
friends with
Cent.
Tory. They're both Canada's
Yeah.
Well, go on back to Canada and
now
the pussy or whatever it is.
and now his ass about to be brought to trial for the murder investigation that Triple X Tentacion.
Oh yes, this is
called as a witness. Drake.
Yes,
because
he's about.
He said a line on that album with him and 21 Savage that was like, "I told you not to get involved." It was like a whole lot of mess. So now they pulling his ass into that case too. All of this shit is just terrible,
messy.
bro.
And you see how you see how it comes off as messy and gossipy. Those two, I don't know if it's a thing about men coming out of Canada, not the Haitian men, because I seen y'all fine as hell. But I don't know. But those men coming out of Canada, and want to be rappers, there is a messiness about them, a little bitchiness in them.
Yes,
Can you do something for me? Can you get a little respect for me? Yeah, that's how they say.
42 stones for the 42 times he thought about proposing to somebody. Man, come on, Drake.
What the hell?
You 40 years old, man. Come on, grow up.
You pushing 92
Corny
and you
ass.
sitting here and you braiding your baby soft hair. You know that baby got that suavemente. You know he got that suavemente.
What they
and
say,
you over there trying to braid that baby hair, put him in a stocking cap.
They said Pusha T roasted him so bad he went and claimed his child. I said, my God.
He did.
My God, today.
He sure did.
He did.
It made him do right.
Pusha T roasted him so bad, Drake went out and started getting braids.
Oh, Jesus.
Cornrows. Like Pusha T. Like, he sunned that man. Get me out of here with that mess.
I think I have one more story I wanted to discuss. I don't know if we talked about this one. Did we talk about Arie already? And
not the one, I ain't been here, so I don't know what
y'all. Arie had expressed online, maybe this was a little week ago, and then we can get out of here because this is a little kiki. It keeps us nice and racist. India was online, and she was saying how Spotify, if you've been following us on the show, you would know that we've actually followed a story from India and Spotify and Joe Rogan, and how India called out Spotify for giving platforms to white nationalists and taking away opportunities from actual singers, Black people who utilize that platform to get paid and to make their money. And so so Spotify ain't never really like her no more. They ain't want to mess with her. They offer $1 million to Joe Rogan and nothing to
150 million.
150, excuse me, get me right, because you got a 50 more million on top. And I said $1 million, and honey, 150 million is very different.
It's very different.
It's very different. But she came out on her platform and she was saying everybody loves Black music, but they don't care about us. And the reason why she said that was because when you go to Spotify and they have the song Brown Skin, Josh, if you can get that picture for us, they have the song Brown Skin. If you ever know Arie's song Brown Skin, you know I love you, brown skin. Go next and see if we can get a bigger picture of that. But if you look right there, that's a white woman.
Wait, scroll back.
Ooh, no, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
I don't even know if you can zoom. What?
Yeah, I wish we can get a bigger picture.
Houseway.
But it's a white woman who was on the face of soul music for Arie's song Brown Skin. And she said, I literally just want to make my music, make my music, love people, and mind my business. I think 2023 calls for a new approach, because if we know India, she even went on air and was like, you know what, Joe Rogan, that's your business. Spotify, that's your business. I know what a racist looks like. I don't want to fight with nobody. I said what I said, and that's it. And we were like, oh, why is she backtracking? And she's like, I'm not in the mood to fight. If y'all know Arie, she's about peace, love, and Black folks. Okay. And I think she's tired to the point where she's just been so disrespected by Spotify. When you call out a platform as big as Spotify now, who makes money off of Black artists
all day, and
you call them out for being, I don't even know what to call this, racist, but you are this is like right here. When I go search for braid styles, I have to put black girl braid styles because when I search up braid styles, not one black girl will come up in the Google for the styles. When I search up holiday glam, I got to put black girls in holiday glam because when I search it up in Google, I'm only going to get white. Period. You're not going to see any black girls in holiday glam. When you go to Spotify, I should never have to look at the song Brown Skin by Arie with a white person as a thumbnail.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's go ahead, James. I wonder if that's algorithm generated.
I think they took it down now because I just Googled it and
this
went to Spotify.
Story.
Okay, and now it's the actual album cover. But
y'all
should saw that before that even damn went live, man. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, and it's definitely insult to injury when you consider how little Spotify pays artists and musicians, and then they take all that money and redirect it to one pretty mediocre white dude by the name of Joe Rogan. Right. This is just assault in the open wound. She said what she said. She meant what she said about the situation. She knows racism when she sees it. And then they have this happen. So I can understand her being vexed by this.
Mm-hmm.
For real. For real.
Yeah. Yeah. So I say this to say, people going if you think that any white person had an issue with that, they didn't. But if you know the song Brown Skin and what it's about us. It's about black love.
Where are all your people from?
Yes, from maybe Mississippi or an island.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, your skin has been kissed by the sun. You make me want to Hershey's kiss your licorice. That's all black. That's all black reference. All black reference. Ain't nothing about that picture kissed by the sun. Ain't from Mississippi. Ain't from an island.
Melanin deficient picture.
Melanin.
Nothing about that photo made me want a Hershey's kiss or a licorice.
Made me want some raisins in my potato salad. Spotify.
The sun, baby.
It made me want some chicken with no seasoning on it.
I am tired. India, to the point where it said Arie literally said, you know what? 2023, fuck around. Find out. Literally. Excuse my French on this good Tuesday. But that is exactly what it's pushed India to just want to remove herself from being about love, peace, and joy. She wants to go in now with the tool. Like,
with them things.
Stop playing on my name. Yeah, she got that thing on.
You got that thing. see, I listen, Sister India. Let me just let you know. Unfortunately, it is that season where we're gonna have to get turned up on a couple of people from these Caucasus Mountains because these white folks out here, especially white evangelicals, conservatives, and Republicans, and Nazis, and Joe Rogans of the world, and the owners of Spotify, the people who write the algorithms that make these decisions, they turn it up too. So I mean, I know she wants peace. I want peace too. I want to go to the backyard and barbecue, but these folks getting out of control.
And what's funny is I want her to know, because she's one of my faves. She's actually a little rebel because she's been about black, beautiful, joy, revolutionary, peace, God within us. We are queens and king, all of that. Black love. She's been about that before it was popular, like she states in one of her songs. However, I think right now, she's actually pushed. She went to the Grammys, and because the Grammys disrespected her, she walked away. She walked out of it. She left.
She says she tired.
Yep.
All her life she had to fight.
She said the disrespect that I've gotten on today's red carpet, I'm leaving. I don't need to stay. She left. She got online, talked about that. And she also discussed, Joe Rogan and these different platforms and how they are not inclusive of black music, profit off of black music and imagery, and then do away with it and give people who spew out hate, they allow them to have a platform, and racism. Those people get platforms and get paid big bucks for it. So she called that out. She made that a whole thing a year ago when no one else was talking about it. So you are a revolutionary person. You've been a revolutionary person, India. Love you, mean it. Absolutely. Everything you do, and nobody should disrespect you because you are actually a legendary person as well in this music realm. A lot of people, for a lot of people, you are the blueprint. Your vocal range is ridiculous. So yeah, nobody can stop messing with India. Don't play
Shout out
with
to the
her.
queen.
Right.
Period.
She's trying to keep her peace. She's saying, I'm
She
trying
really
to do
is.
this.
No,
I'm
but she got
trying.
that thing on her.
She got
She
it.
got that
She
thing
got
on
it.
her. Yeah. We're at the end of the show now, you guys. I'm glad that you guys, even though it was a late show today, you guys actually tuned in. We had the trio. I love you guys so much. If you aren't a Patreon, please, guys, to see this more often than you do now, please become a Patreon at patreon.com/like-it-or-not.
You heard it, James.
Patreon.com/like. Y'all some children.
No. See that accent came out. It came out heavy right there,
Like,
real quick.
Patreon.com/like-it-or-not. Patreon.com/like-it-or-not, as well as if you guys would like to give to us individually, because it gets to us, it gets to the show. I promise you that. We paying for every single thing that's on here. Ask about us. But definitely you guys can do that at Becca's Voice, DJ X3C, and
BPD 2018
Yes.
$sign in front of all three of us.
yes, BPD 2018, Becca's Voice, and DJ X3C on Cash App. I love you guys. Please make sure that you enjoy yourselves. Tomorrow I'll see you guys, and after that you ain't gonna find me because I'm gonna be at the crib with it. But I'm gonna see y'all on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
and I think we might do a holiday party on Friday for the.
That's what I was wondering. So holiday patron party.
Yeah, holiday patron party on Friday.
I'll
Let's
be
do
there.
from 9 to 12. 9 to 12.
We'll be in the house.
I might pull up because I'll be at my mama's house, so I might pull up for 5 minutes.
Well, come on now. Come on through then.
All right. I love you guys. I mean it. Glad to see you, Ben. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Take it easy now.
Thank y'all so much again for tuning in this morning. Well, afternoon now, wherever you at. Glad y'all enjoyed the show, man. Once again, make sure that you tune in, like, share, subscribe, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Your affirmation for today is, I find so many blessings when I reflect on my day. I find so many blessings when I reflect on my day. Y'all gonna be great, man. Love y'all, mean it. We will see y'all tomorrow. Deuces. Holiday party Friday, 9 to 12. See you then.
Take my word for it. This is a promise in a threat. I ain't never really want to flex my gifts, but I think it's my time. Let me check my wrist. You can never get my shine. I'ma keep on grinding till I reach the top. When it's just in my jeans and I ain't looking back, cause I'm feeling like Chris Cross. They can never slow me down, but they need to hate me. Now I'm feeling like Chris. Rock with the team, cause you know that we winning, we with it, we going, we flowing again. I might just go by a Benz. I might just blow my advance. Whoa, I did it all for the feeling. Alive, but I'm making a killing. I'm gonna break every ceiling, cause I need a million, but I don't need your money. You can pay me in respect, cause once I do it big, what's to follow is a check. I need 100 bags, nothing more, nothing less. And the ops feel away, cause I'm next.